Welcome back to Heartfelt Life Diaries, a place where we share profound lessons about life. Long ago, in a small village, there lived a young boy who was intelligent and quick-witted, but he had one serious flaw. That flaw was procrastination. He always found excuses to avoid doing what needed to be done that very day. He constantly told himself that he was still young, that life was long and endless, so there was no need to hurry. Every morning, even when the sun had risen high in the sky, he remained buried under his warm blanket, letting valuable opportunities for learning and self-improvement slip away. His parents and teachers worried deeply about his future, but he ignored all their sincere advice. One beautiful day, while wandering around aimlessly, the boy happened to meet a wise old sage sitting quietly beneath a tree. Noticing the boy's intelligence but also the lack of determination in his eyes, the sage smiled gently and beckoned him closer. He invited the boy to sit down and began telling him a parable, a story that would forever change the way he saw life. The sage spoke of a poor fisherman. One dark night, the fisherman woke early to fetch water before starting his work. The night was so dark that he couldn't even see his own hands. As he groped his way along the riverbank, his foot struck a small bag lying near the water. Curious, he opened the bag and reached inside. His fingers touched small, cold, heavy objects. Because it was still too dark to begin fishing, he decided to sit and wait for dawn. Bored and with nothing to do, he picked up one stone from the bag and hurled it into the river. The splash echoed pleasantly through the night. Amused, he threw another stone. And so, in the pitch-black darkness, he continued tossing stone after stone into the river, simply to pass the time while waiting for sunrise. The bag gradually became lighter. He had no idea what he was holding, thinking it was nothing more than a harmless game. Slowly, the darkness began to fade. On the eastern horizon, the first faint rays of sunlight appeared. Only one stone remained in the bag. As he raised his hand to throw the final stone, the sun rose fully into the sky. Suddenly, the object in his hand glittered brilliantly. It was not a stone, it was a massive, priceless diamond. The fisherman froze in shock, his heart pounding wildly. He couldn't believe his eyes. In his hand lay a fortune beyond imagination. Panicked, he stared into the deep river and realized he had thrown an entire treasure into the water during the darkness. He collapsed to the ground, sobbing in despair. Because of ignorance and darkness, he had thrown away his chance at a completely different life. The sage paused and looked deeply into the boy's eyes. The boy sat silently, beginning to grasp the meaning behind the story. The sage said softly, "Do you see, my child? That bag of diamonds is the precious time each of us is given in life. Every day, every hour, every minute you have is a priceless diamond, more valuable than any wealth. Yet, because of ignorance, laziness, and procrastination, we treat time like worthless stones and throw it away." The darkness in the story represents our unawareness. We waste time on meaningless pleasures, simply to kill time. We toss away hours and days into the river of forgetfulness, believing there are still plenty of stones left in the bag. And the sunrise. That is the moment we finally realize the true value of time. But often, by then, it is already too late. The diamonds are gone. Only a few moments remain, not enough to make up for what was lost. The boy looked down at his small hands. He shuddered as he thought of how many diamonds he had already thrown away. Sleeping in, wasting hours on games, delaying his responsibilities, all of them were diamonds lost to the river. The sage smiled kindly and said, "But you are luckier than that fisherman, my child. You are still young. Your bag is still full of diamonds. You still have time to change." Hearing this, the boy's face lit up. He realized he possessed a great treasure he had never recognized before. He stood up, bowed deeply to the sage, and ran home with newfound determination burning in his heart. The first thing he did was clean his messy study corner. He organized his books and planned his days carefully. He no longer procrastinated. He acted immediately on what needed to be done. Each day, he tried to turn his time into shining diamonds by learning, training himself, and helping others. Years later, the lazy boy had become a successful, wise man, respected by everyone around him. Every time he looked at a clock, he remembered the story of the fisherman and the diamonds, and silently thanked the sage who awakened him. Dear friend, life is fair. Everyone has the same 24 hours each day, but how we use them determines our destiny. Do not let the darkness of laziness blind you. Do not wait until your hair turns gray to realize everything is gone. Treasure every moment. Turn each day into a brilliant diamond. The river in the story is the flow of life. It moves forward and never returns. You cannot step into the same river twice. Time once lost can never be recovered. In modern life, darkness is not only ignorance, but also endless distractions. Social media, video games, meaningless news. They are fake stones that trick us into throwing away real diamonds. Procrastination is like a numbing drug, comfortable in the moment, but silently killing your future. Do not confuse being busy with being productive. The fisherman was busy throwing stones, yet his actions were disastrous. Each night, check your bag. How many diamonds did you keep today? How many did you throw away? Invest time in knowledge, health, and meaningful relationships. That is how raw stones become shining diamonds. An hour spent reading builds wisdom. An hour spent exercising protects your greatest asset, your body. An hour with loved ones creates diamonds of happiness and memories. Remember, no one knows how many stones remain in their bag. The choice is yours. Continue throwing stones in the dark, or awaken and recognize the true value of life. Successful people do not have more time than you. They simply value every diamond more carefully. Start today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is an island that does not exist on the map of time. Let awareness dispel the fog of procrastination. Live as if today were your last. When you change, you don't just change your own life. You inspire everyone around you. Do not let your life pass in regretful sighs. Let it sing songs of effort, growth, and fulfillment. If this story touched you, share it with those you love. And tell us in the comments, how will you use your bag of diamonds starting today? Every new day is a gift. Do not waste it. Thank you for spending your precious time with us. See you again on Heartfelt Life Diaries.